Okay, a very good morning to you, or good evening, as the case may be. Good night, uh, wherever you are, whatever time it is, welcome. Let us get straight into it. Welcome to the course on libel and slander for journalists. My name is Alim Khan, and we are going to get straight into it. We stopped last class at 22,179. Okay, so let's continue from there. Statutory basis 22,179.
Defamation Act 1996. Statutory Basis 22 to 179. Section 1(1) of the 1996 Act provides a defense to a person who is responsible for a defamatory publication if he was not the author, editor, or publisher of the statement. The Act defines author, editor, and publisher. Author means the originator of the statement, but does not include a person who did not intend that his statement be published at all. Editor means a person having editorial or equivalent responsibility for the content of the statement or the decision to publish it, and publisher means a commercial publisher, that is, a person whose business is issuing material to the public, or a section of the public who issues material containing the statement in the course of that business. A person is not to be considered the author, editor, or publisher of a statement if he is only involved in certain processes only in relation to the statement in question. S.1. Section 1(5) of the 1996 Act provides that 5. In determining for the purposes of this section whether a person took reasonable care or had reason to believe that what he did caused or contributed to the publication of a defamatory statement, regard shall be had to a. The extent of his responsibility for the content of the statement or the decision to publish it, b. The nature or circumstances of the publication, and c. The previous conduct or character of the author, editor, or publisher. Reasonable care 22 to 180. In Godfrey v. Demon Internet 855, the defendant, an Internet service provider, was sued for libel in respect of material distributed through its forum, and sought to invoke the defense under S.1 of the Defamation Act 1996. On an application by the defendant to strike out the claimant's case, Moreland J., in the High Court held that the defendants were not publishers, but that the defense under S.1 was unavailable to the defendant who was unable to show that reasonable care had been taken in relation to the statement, or that it did not know, and had no reason to believe that what it did caused. Page 152. Or contributed to the publication of the defamatory statement since, after the claimant had complained to the managing director of Demon about the statement, the company had failed to remove the offending article from the net for a further 2 weeks. At common law, a person who was not the author, printer, or the first or main publisher of a work containing a libel, but had only taken a subordinate part in its dissemination, was not liable if he could show that he did not know that the material distributed contained the libel, that he did not know that it was of a character likely to contain a libel, and was not negligent in not having the (1996.856).
Okay, we just want to see how do we start? How do we take it from here? We just want to get this piece here. Right? Let's take a trip. No text. At common law, a person who is not the author, printer, or the first or main publisher of a work containing a libel, but had only taken a subordinate part in its dissemination, was not liable if he could show that he did not know that the material distributed contained the libel, that he did not know that it was of a character likely to contain a libel, and was not negligent in having the relevant knowledge. It is not clear whether this defense survives the passing of the Defamation Act.
Clerk and Lindsell on Torts 20th ed. Main volume. Chapter 22 Defamation. Section 6. Defenses. Subsection F. Offers to make amends. Section 2 of the Defamation Act 1996. Statutory Basis. 22 to 181. Defamation is a tort of strict liability, i.e., absence of intent or negligence is not, of itself, a defense. This can create hardship for a defendant who has made an innocent mistake and finds himself embroiled in a libel claim. There has also been concern that some claimants seize on the error as a license to seek large tax-free sums from a jury. The purpose of the defense of offer of amends created by the 1996 Act 857 is to allow a defendant to extricate himself from a claim at an early stage by offering to make appropriate amends. If the claimant accepts, his claim is settled.
Okay, let's look at that again. There has also been concern that some claimants seize on the error as a license to seek large tax-free sums from a jury. So this is evidence here that it is often the case where claimants abuse the judicial process to get money. Okay, the purpose of the defense of offer of amends created by the 1996 Act is to allow a defendant to extricate himself from a claim at an early stage by offering to make appropriate amends. Okay, if the claimant accepts, his claim is settled and the defendant must make amends. If he refuses, the claim proceeds, and the fact that the offer was made will be a defense unless the defendant published the defamatory statement, either knowing or having reason to believe that it was false and defamatory of the claimant. It is therefore more akin to a damage limitation exercise than a substantive defense. It replaces similar defenses in the 1952 Act and the Law of Libel Amendment Act 1888, where the requirements on the defendant were so onerous that they were barely used. The commercial media, the 1996 Act has its own complexities, but is nevertheless proving popular with the commercial media. The main improvement is that a claimant who accepts an offer of amends can recover damages. This may not appear to benefit the defendants, but at least it provides an incentive to a claimant to accept the offer and resolve the matter swiftly.